Hello Internet, I'm Dan.
And I'm Chaz. This is Wine is Serious Business, episode 152. Exciting day today for us. Anytime we get to drink Oregon Pinot, I'm pretty happy. I know you probably are too. But today is awesome because we're going to touch on a couple of wines that are probably pretty good. So these are two high-end bottlings from the respective producers. The Arterberry Maresh 2010 Maresh Vineyard and the Patricia Green 2010 Notorious. The Maresh is a single vineyard bottling. The Notorious is a blend of some barrels from three separate vineyards. Balcombe, Anna, which I really love, and then Olenek, which I'm not.
I don't know anything about. I don't know Balcombe either.
Yep, and then so 100% new oak. But we're going to start with the Arterberry Maresh because just on a pre-tasting, you can tell it was a little lighter, and the Patricia Green definitely has a little stronger influence or a little stronger intensity. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had good experiences with wines from this producer in the past, but I don't know a whole lot about it. I know some people like this is their top Willamette Valley producer. A lot of excitement around this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're still just kind of dipping our toes into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got some close friends that think very highly of this producer. So always excited to taste their stuff. Their 2009s that I was able to taste were all very delicious. So.
Yeah, a lot of history behind the Maresh Vineyard too. Like it's been in the Dundee Hills for a long time.
Right.
Interesting notes. Like the fruit has like this youthy spritz to it. There's like bright cherries with kind of some lemon lime, but then there's some like really darker like savory funk things going on.
Yeah. It's got the like earthy, loamy, like almost dried mushroom funkiness going on there pretty strongly.
And even kind of like stewed lamb a little bit even. Like
wow. Got a little bit of meatiness to it. But yeah, the fruit characteristics here are delicious. Man, they smell awesome.
Something a little floral too, like darker flowers, like a rose or something.
Really complex, delicious nose, yeah.
Really nice and smooth across the palate. The mouthfeel here is wonderful.
It is.
Really like that. The acidity is gentle but persistent.
Okay, yeah, I was like, tasted something weird. The acidity was really strong. I just needed to take a second taste of it. Yeah, super, super gentle, and oh man, feel on it is fantastic. Yeah.
Getting a little bit of grapefruit mixed in with like cherries and strawberries. I'd say strawberries and grapefruit are probably the dominant two fruit flavors I'm getting on the mid palate.
Yeah, citrus picks up strong in the finish. There's a little bit of wood, but not so much like new oak, just like almost like old oak barrel on the sides of the tongue. But man, it's fruit flavors on the tongue are really nice.
A little bit of earthy character in the center of the palate. It comes in, the tannins settle in there. A little bit as well. Actually, a little stronger towards the finish as I'm talking. It's
builds up
long, slow evolution on this, but they kind of build up, sitting kind of on the very back of my tongue there, giving a little bit of that structure that lingers. Acidity sticks more to the sides.
And lingers for a long time. Really, really feminine and elegant expression of Pinot. Like this is reminiscent with previous experiences I've had from this producer too. Like there's good intensity here, and there's a lot of flavor and a lot of power, but it's like so gentle and elegant in the way it expresses itself. It's really good, and this is right in line with stuff I've tasted from them before. This is awesome.
Yeah, there's a real sense of delicacy to it that is really interesting, especially considering how much flavor you're getting out of the wine.
I like it a lot. It's fantastic. 92 points for me. It's right up there. We're bordering 93 almost. It's really good.
91 for me. I really like how the fruits play across the front of the palate, the transition to the mid. I honestly would look forward to trying this in like maybe another 6 months or so. I think the fruit and the structure on the back end will integrate a little more. Not like, and again, like, right, 91 points is pretty solid phrase for me, so it's not like it's disjointed or awkward or anything like that right now.
No.
But I think that transition will become even more connected over time. But really, the light weight on the palate alone provided the flavors make this very interesting wine. Really delicious.
Well said. All right, so second bottle we got here is a Patricia Green Notorious. I don't know if this is their top bottling, but I think it's one of their most expensive. It comes in right under $60. So,
yeah, I know they have another one that they only do in special years, but I don't know if that's even out on retail. I don't know much about them. Boy, I know a lot of people love what they do, a lot of respect for them, but I haven't had a lot of experience with it.
I've had some really good bottles from them, particularly the Anna. I've had the bottling, I think a 08 from them that was just freaking delicious. Sticks in my mind, actually, is one of my favorite bottles of wine I've had.
And so part of the reason that we decided to splurge on some higher end stuff, like we like sharing it with you guys, we like exploring it ourselves, but this is also, episode 152 marks a year of unbroken Wine is Serious business.
Yeah.
We haven't missed a week since I came back from vacation last year. And when we started, we never thought we'd do this, and I certainly won't make any commitments about doing this next year. But we managed to get enough backed up so that when one of us was gone, we're still able to put a show up every week. And that's kind of exciting. I feel good about that. It's kind of a nice little achievement unlocked for Wine is Serious business. So
cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into this. Whoa.
Definitely dark. You're getting some of that Oregon funk here, right? The forest floor.
Now this has got the Oregon smell just nailed.
And you know, like you got friends who roll their own cigarettes, right? This is like, do you?
No,
not really. Okay. I mean, but this is somebody that like dropped a pouch of tobacco kind of on the forest floor. There's like a little bit of that cigarette tobacco in there.
Wow. You can see that. Man, the dark fruit flavors here, and there's like a spice to them, like a sort of a nutmeggy spice. It's like sort of the combination between the oak barrel. There is a substantial amount of oak in the nose here, right? But like it's coming across less vanilla and more like a baking spice to me. It's
and darker fruits, man.
Yeah.
I've never guessed that these are from the same vintage, even or certainly. I want to say terroir difference. Like this is a blend, but I'm pretty sure Anna's Dundee Hills, right?
Yeah, it is.
Dundee Hills. I don't know what the other two are.
I don't know.
I'm going to guess that they're not. I'll be really surprised if these are both 100% Dundee Hills. I mean, the Mareshes, of course, but why not? Somebody throw me out in the comments if you recognize those vineyard names. I'm going to guess that there's some Yamhill Carlton fruit in this, just on the darker fruit notes.
And one I don't know if I'd pick out is 2010, right? Like explosive nose, a lot more intense than the Arterberry.
Great mouthfeel again, right away. Sense of delicacy as it comes down, but it definitely picks up a little more weight across the mid palate.
I think feel this way. Like I keep saying that, but like this one's heavier by a considerable amount, and it's like swish it around your mouth, and yeah, there's more substance to this one.
I'm gonna guess more alcohol too.
13.
Did you see?
On the Patricia Green?
12.6. So wow. Only arguably more alcohol. But and not in a bad way. I'm not saying it's burning. It's just that little sense of weight is definitely there.
It adds to that.
It's definitely well integrated at this point.
I'm not getting that like sort of grapefruity notes. Like a lot of times it's easy to like lean to red citrus for the acidity that we're feeling, but like, this is more just fresh cherries, raspberry fruit,
Totally raspberries.
and just super delicious. Like I was kind of worried that maybe like there'd be a lot of oak influence here on the palate. It's not showing at all for me. It's like just explosive red fruit.
Raspberries and blackberries, just mouthfuls of them, right out of the little containers. Maybe pick your own. You're eating them straight off the vines.
And with that little the higher intensity and the more fruit that there is, there's just more. It's more. I'm struggling for words here, but it's just more intense, and there's no gaps whatsoever. It lingers in the finish. I'm still tasting it like it's still on my tongue. Yeah. So,
Tannins are really gentle.
right. Structurally, this is perfect. Like the acidity is really nice. It's right in line with the rest of the fruit. And the tannins are they're there. They're totally in the background, but it's like they're just not even. They're staying completely out of the way, not messing anything up, not gripping too hard. I like this one. I like this a little more. This is
really coming through to me is when I sit and think about it. I kind of prefer the delicacy across the mid palate of the Marsh a little bit, the Arterberry Marsh a little bit, but you all know, like, A, I'm a big fan of acidity, and B, I'm really particular about the texture of the acidity. And this is delivering the texture of acidity that I like in spades. It's good across the palate, and then late on the finish, it kind of rises up again, makes the mouth water like a couple seconds after you swallow, and kind of gives it that contemplative kick and a little bit of eye pop. You're like, oh man, like this is still happening. This is still happening. And like he was saying, that fruit flavor lingers, right? And it's kind of slowly tapers off, but when that acidity comes up again, the fruit's still there, a little bit of that baking spice.
a lot of long finish. I mean, the whole time Dan's just talking here, I've been done swallowing for like 20 seconds, and it's still a very intense feeling in the mouth. But without being like, I would love to. I wouldn't even want to eat this with food. I would just, yeah. This is sit back and drink the bottle.
So we both had a really interesting
awesome.
experience that lately. We got together to drink some really good wines with some really good friends over dinner.
Yeah.
And I think that the best of the wines we're kind of distracted from by the conversation. And of course, like, there's a lot of value in spending time with people you enjoy spending time with, and in mixing good wine with good food. But maybe it's just like our nerdy side, maybe it's the particular wines at hand, but for one reason or another, like, I'm leaning more towards, like, when you've got a wine you really want to focus on, like, don't be shy about giving it its space. Right?
Absolutely.
You know,
maybe
don't be shy about
a little bit of salami or something if you need it, but just, yeah, totally.
Taper off the conversation, right? Just kind of like dive in and soak it up.
And then this is on that level for like a wine that you can contemplate and think about. Oh man, this one's hard to score. I'm gonna go 93 plus on it. Sitting here thinking about what I would score something like this. I'm almost in line with Tanner. So one of the other things, the reason I picked this show up, one of the other reasons, was that both of these wines were scored 94 points by Tanzer.
Wow.
So big scores. I think well deserved, honestly.
I didn't read about this one. I know Schildknecht, however you pronounce that, from The Advocate, loved this one as well.
I can see why. It's fantastic wine. It's good stuff.
And they've got like this lightness and like the acidity both has like this lemon lime kind of feel to it, like this brightness. There's a sense, and they're kind of young. Both. They're kind of young, and they have this like sense of youth that is still present and not in an awkward way. It's like a really refined. You know, it's kind of like your valedictorian teenager. People make jokes about teenager wines that are really awkward and need to mature and come into themselves.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
This is the kid at like 15 that already knows where he's going and
knows two languages.
And performs admirably at everything that he or she does. Like, these are young,
really good
and they have that like vivacious nature and that excitement, but at the same time, all the poise you could ask for. They've got it together.
Totally. And a lot of times it happens with top bottlings. Is you're like, you taste them like, oh, this is definitely meant to age. We'll you stick this back for a number of years. I wouldn't hesitate to drink either of these soon.
Yep.
Honestly, particularly this thing. I mean, I agree with you. Maybe 6 months, a year down the line, this might really hit its peak. But this is drinking so good right now.
They're both fantastic right now. Like I said, like I think this will improve. This one will become more interesting. But I think
they're both beautiful.
Geez, they're both ready. I gotta score that one too. That's tough. 92 plus, so a little bit back from Chaz. I've been stingy lately, man. Even my written notes
with the point.
Chaz has been giving me a hard time about this, and I think it's justified. But at the same time, even trying to second guess myself, I can't. That's just where I'm at right now. However you cut it, both of these wines are fantastic. Are they both $60?
Yeah, so 57 I think I paid for that one, and 59. So right at the same price point.
And right, like, this isn't something that you buy trivially, but nor is this something will you drink trivially. I think if you're with people that like to think about the wine they're drinking, have an appreciation for Oregon Pinot Noir, I think these deliver at the price point.
Absolutely. I think both of these deliver at the price point.
Yeah.
Very, very well.
Fantastic stuff. And then you know, the comparison to Burgundy is always a little awkward, right? But you can, and even within Oregon and within Burgundy, you can spend more and get less without questions.
It's true.
And the ageability of both these is like where they go over time. I'd be interested to see, because
I'm really excited to see what the 2010s. Yeah, because some of these are coming off structurally absolutely perfect, right? Like just really well balanced right out of the gate. We were lucky enough to have some of the Cameron stuff, or the Cameron we did on the show, right? That was just amazing for $20, the Dundee Hills.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see where 2010 wines go in the future. Anyway,
thanks to both of you for putting the love into these wines and really taking the time to make something special and delicious and put it out on the general retail market so folks like us can enjoy it. It's great stuff.
Question of the day. I hadn't even thought of anything.
I've got something. I'll throw it out there. Chaz has read some wine books. I've read some wine books. I'm reading something decidedly unnerdy, but there was a Japanese comic book called The Drops of God that came out years ago. It was recently converted into English, and it sounds ridiculous and kind of in the Japanese comic book way. It is kind of ridiculous, but it's all about wine, and there are parts of it that are just fantastic. If it sounds even remotely interesting to you, you'll probably really enjoy it. Some of the drawings are great, and seeing really nicely sketched up bottles or people getting really excited about over wine in kind of the comic book theme. It's been really cool. It's been really cool to see. So my question of the day for you is just: have you read any good wine books lately?
I haven't.
It's been a while for you.
Yeah, it has been a while. The last one I probably read was the Oz Clarke Bordeaux. I reread that because it was.
Wow,
I loved it.
good.
I love that book. I love Oz Clarke's style of writing. It's almost a textbook, but he tells it from the side as he's telling a story a lot of times about his own experiences. So much fun. Anyway.
Great personality too, man. We love that BBC series he did. Oz Clarke, if you ever come to Portland, come do a show with us. That'd be a good time.
Oh my god, I would love to meet him. He's awesome. God. Yeah, if you haven't watched the show where he does, where he goes wine touring with the guy from Top Gear, James May, hilarious. So worth seeking out. Anyway,
yeah.
See you guys next time.
Cheers. Thanks for a year.